A good book is like a good friend. It will stay with you for the rest of your life, says one of the best quotes. Books are our best friends because they inspire us to do great things in life and overcome our failures. We learn a lot from good books, just like a good friend. Hello, listeners. Welcome to yet another interesting episode of the podcast Giridhar's Gardi with your host Giridhar. Today, we have someone who is specially known for his charm. Smart, intelligent, kind, committed, determined, and most importantly, an ambitious personality. Also known for being a quick learner, presenting the guest for today's episode, Anurag. Hi Anurag, welcome to Giridhar's Gardi. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Giridhar, for calling me to your podcast. I'm doing good, and I hope you're also doing good.
Yes, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. All right. Before we start, just one question. How do you feel like being here on Giridhar's Gardi?
Hmm. Let me put it like this. This is my first interview ever. So
Oh,
I never dreamt of giving an interview to anyone.
okay.
So let's put it this way. I'm really excited to give my first interview ever. And I'm also nervous because this is my first interview. The same reason, but different perspectives.
Oh, but I just want you not to be nervous because it's just going to be a friendly conversation and I'll make it as interesting and as smooth as possible. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah, great. So, Anurag, tell us, what is your association with the books?
So I started reading novels when I was in engineering. I started it only because of one reason. I
Mhm.
wanted to improve my language skills. That's it.
Oh,
But as I continued reading, I found few books which are really interesting and I started to search for those similar books and then I continued
mhm.
reading.
Okay.
I wouldn't put myself in the category of avid readers, but yes, my curiosity puts me in a range of readers where I regularly read the books that I love. I put more time in researching about a book. Is it really
Oh,
my type? And then I buy it and then I read it. That's it.
oh, that's wonderful. How did you inculcate the habit of reading books?
First of all, I did not force it on myself.
Mhm.
That is what I thought at the beginning, because
Okay.
few people read because they have to read. In fact, I started in the same way, right?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to improve my language skills, I started. That means I forced it upon myself. But as a time passed, and as I got used to reading, and I
Mhm.
found some interesting books, and then it became a habit of not forcing it on myself, but finding a new book, finding an exciting book, finding an exciting story, and then read it.
Okay. Wow. That's nice. That's nice. So, what
Yes.
kind of books, that is the genre that you prefer to read and why?
So when I was in school, as part of academia, we had two books in English.
Okay.
So in supplementary, one is
Mhm.
Gulliver's Travel and Trojan War,
Yes,
right?
I remember both.
Yes, I know. We were in a similar time period of schools. So in supplementary, we had Gulliver's and Trojan War. Those are the first two adventure books that I had with me. And I really love them. And even today, I remember the complete story, even though I do not revise.
Wow.
So that is how ingrained it is. The stories are in me, these two books.
Oh,
Uh, but those are the first two novels that I ever read, and okay, as part of academia, but I really loved them. But after that, I did not maintain what you say continuation of reading. I
okay.
just love watching movies rather than reading. That is how you can put it.
Mhm.
But as I've already told, in engineering, I wanted to improve my skills, and I started with love genre of Indian authors. So
Wow.
I started with Chetan Bhagat.
Oh,
I read four of his books. complete. I read four of his books. Then I got into. Then after that, I felt movies and books are same. So I stopped reading the love stories, and then I got
Okay.
introduced to mythology.
Oh,
Precisely speaking, mythological fiction. And
wow.
the author was Amish Tripathi,
Hmm.
my favorite author. My favorite author in Indian origin.
Oh,
So I read all his seven books. The Shiva trilogy, which had three books, the Ramchandra series, which is currently going on, where three books are already there, and his latest book, that is Shuhail Dev, out of this mythology, but it is one of the heroes of India in the early wartime,
oh,
right? So,
oh.
yes, one of the fantastic books. So I read all his seven books. That was where I introduced to mythological fiction, and then I went to foreign authors,
Hmm.
started reading their books as well. Uh, Particularly speaking, Dan Brown's books, right? The Da
Oh,
Vinci Code uh, was my, I would categorize it to be the best foreign book that I've ever read, the Da
oh,
Vinci Code. And even I saw the movie, I felt the book was way more better than the movie.
okay.
So that's the mythological fiction of foreign author. And then I continued with Indian authors. Vineet Bajpayee's Harappa series, where it had three books. I read that. Next, my first female author, Chitra Banerjee's books, The Palace of Illusion.
Oh,
This is one of the mythological fiction. And now I'm currently reading Devdutt Patnaik's Jaya. This completely comes under mythology, because Jaya is other word for Mahabharata.
oh,
So yes, so this is how I fixated on one genre of books.
oh, oh, that's amazing, amazing, Anurag. In fact, that's quite inspiring to listen all such kind of books that you have gone through.
Yes.
So, my next follow-up question for you, Anurag, on what you have already told just now, out of all these books which you have read so far, share
Mhm.
with us about one of your favorite books and explain why do you like it.
Hmm. As I've already told, this Amish Tripathi, the author Amish Tripathi's first book,
Mm-hmm.
right, from the Shiva trilogy, that is where I started loving the mythological fiction series.
Oh,
So I would consider that book to be my favorite. You could say the best book that I've ever read, The Immortals of Meluha, that
wow.
the title of the first book. And that is my favorite because since childhood, from
Okay.
an Hindu family, you know God to be, uh, a person or a power who's
Correct.
not visible, but he controls all of the universe.
Yes.
But contrary to that, in this book,
Mm.
the God is human. There is no such thing called God in this book.
Oh,
Yes, the names are similar, but they are human beings, facing human problems, facing the love. It is filled with war, strategies, love, death, and some social discrimination as well. So that is when I felt connected. I did not feel like I was reading about a god. I was uh, feeling like I was reading about a person, some person in the old age, our ancestors. So
oh,
that is where I felt the love towards this genre, and I would consider The Immortals of Meluha to be my first and the best book ever.
oh, wow. Excellent. So, Anurag, my next question to you, is there any book that you would never get bored of reading, although you read it multiple times? If so, what is that?
Mhm. I have many such. I mean, in the books, the list of books that I've already told, most of them are rereadable. I can read it anytime, but I would consider Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown to be readable any number of times, because uh, that also comes under mythological fiction, where mythology is not Hindu related, but it is Christian origin.
Oh,
Whatever the religion it is, I'm not bothered about it, but the author, how he puts the story, how he portrays the characters. So that is very inspiring. And in this book, the author uses all the historical facts and then creates a story in real time, that is in our generation, in the 21st century.
Oh,
Those facts are used here, and then the story goes around those facts. So I would suggest anyone to read Da Vinci Code and also see the movie as well.
oh,
So
okay.
both the movie is the best movie, and also the book is, I can't even define how good it is, but it is one of the best books I've ever read.
Oh, in fact, even I feel like reading it by listening to the way that you are saying now. In fact, it has created a way more impact on me now.
Sold in millions of copies all around the world. I believe it is available in all the languages and paperback. And if you have a Kindle, then you can buy it in Kindle, Amazon Kindle as well. You can read it online. It is available in all
Oh,
the forms.
usually, which way do you feel comfortable, and which way do you usually, I mean, ask others to read books? Like, is it online or a physical way of reading? Which way would be better?
Uh, if you are starting as a new reader, then I would suggest buy a physical copy of the book and start reading it.
Okay.
And if you once get, uh, I wouldn't say addicted, but yeah, when you are continue to read, and if you think that carrying a book, you don't have a place. See, generally I go to work in train, the metro, and I do not carry a big bag to carry a whole book.
Okay.
So the feasible solution for me became the Kindle. I
Oh,
can carry thousands of book in a single piece of device.
yeah.
So if you are a starter, please buy a physical book, smell the new book, start reading the
Oh,
book, and then if you really like it, then continue. Or else some people prefer reading it online as well, because they are used to phones and digital forms. So I would suggest Kindle is the best thing, because you will not get the eyes will not get strained, and there are numerous advantages in the during the night also you can read continuously without any issue. So
oh.
both are very good, and I use both of them, and both are perfect in their own ways.
Wow, because I used to have this habit of reading books when I was a kid, but I don't know, for some reason it has gone now. It is not
Mhm.
there anymore. But yeah, after listening to the way that you are describing each and every book now,
Mhm.
I think I should again start that habit.
You have to, because that is just, when you read one chapter after the other, uh, you will just feel like flipping the next page. Okay, what happens next, that curiosity in you comes out. And that's a very good thing. The curiosity that is generated when you're reading books, that's the best thing will ever happen to you, because you will be in a trance. Like, okay,
Wow.
what is the antagonist going to do? You will imagine yourself into be the characters. because when i
Yeah.
was re- because when I was reading Amish Tripaঠি's The Immortals of Meluha,
Mhm.
when I was reading about the description of the characters, I felt that I was there in that war zone. I was the character. I was Shiva, I was Ganesh, I was Sita. So all these characters, I feel like, yes, that is the best way of remembering the stories, I feel. If you love a book,
Yes.
that happens automatically. Don't There is no need to force it.
Correct, correct. Even I used to imagine the characters of the books here and there to some known faces here and around. I mean,
Yes.
in and around where we see when I was a kid and I was reading the books. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm sure I'll get back to you to know all the details, each and every book on what you are actually talking about now.
Yes.
All right. So I think that's the impact that you have created on me now at this moment. But my next question is about the impact that the books has created on you. Maybe you have
Mhm.
covered something here and there, but yeah, if you could elaborate on this impact, I just would like to listen.
Okay. The impact that books created, I wouldn't categorize into life changing changes that I have in me because of books. But one thing I would say is curiosity.
Oh,
The books have created curiosity in me. What will happen? You get new ideas whenever you read new page, mainly in
okay.
fiction, where everything, or at least major part of it, is made up. It is not real. You are not reading facts. You are reading some other's mind's perspective who created the story.
Yes.
So we will get to know the power of author where they created new things out of nothing. So the
Wow.
curiosity comes in you. So that becomes natural to you when you read more number of books.
Okay.
It is not that you will solve each and every, because of curiosity you will start solving problems also sometimes. It is not mandatory, but yes, you will start feeling curious about each and everything around you because of that habit.
Oh,
That is the impact that it has created on me. The curiosity, it has created curiosity in me.
wow. Amazing. All right. I heard one of the quotes saying, finishing a good book is like leaving a good friend. What's your say on this?
Sometimes it's true because if you love that book
Mm-hmm.
so much that at the end of the last page you will feel like, oh wait, the story should have continued for a couple of more chapters. You will have that urge if you love a book.
Okay.
Then you can say that yes, it is like leaving a good friend because the story is completed. Now there is nothing more to read. You have to keep the book aside. That means you're leaving a good friend.
Okay.
So I would say that's a very relevant phrase when you can compare it with books as well. But there are few books where you feel like, though the story is interesting, but you feel like ending it soon. So in that
Oh,
sense, this does not match.
okay. Maybe out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, yes.
Wow. Great. In general, do you think we have good books and bad books? So, if so, how should we approach? How should be our approach in making a choice?
Huh. Nothing is good and bad. If you
Okay.
enjoy, then it is categorized as good, else it is bad. Simple. For see, you might like love stories, and I do not like love stories. So for you, love story becomes a good book, and for me, it becomes a bad book. So I would say there is nothing called bad and good. It is just
Okay.
your perspective that matters, and if you like it, that's a good one, and that author becomes a good author. And if you do not like it, it becomes a bad book and subsequently a bad author. That's a individual's perspective. So there is, so in this, if you think in this way, there will be no book in the world where it is bad or good, because it will
Okay.
have both sides.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Wow. That's a wise answer, and of course, a perfect answer, in fact. Amazing. So, what are the life lessons that you learned from the books that you read so far?
I wouldn't say life lessons. See, it did not change my life in any way. Because I have started reading very recently from engineering. It's been like 4 5 years that I've started.
Mhm.
But yes, I've known how to enjoy those stories. That's it. Uh, you know, at the beginning you will feel maybe tired because of reading, but once you catch on to the story, you will start enjoying. Then you will learn how to read a book and how to enjoy the story. It's two different things. There might be people who will be reading continuously without stop, because they want to read.
Mhm.
And there are other people who read only one chapter a day, but they enjoy that chapter to the depth. So that is
Oh,
what I have learned, how to enjoy how much ever you read. If you read 1 hour a day, you have to enjoy that story for that 1 hour. That's it. So that is what I have learned.
awesome. Awesome. So, Anurag, lastly, just one message for our listeners with respect to these books.
So if you are already an avid reader, then I am a junior to you. There is nothing that I can tell you. But if you are a new, but if you are new to reading, then experiment with all the genres of books and
Mhm.
don't stop reading. Keep a good pace, because see, at this, if you are lucky, then the first book will become your favorite genre.
Okay.
Unlike me, But see, at the first time I did not like, then I changed the genre, then I started liking. Maybe there will be some people who will not like love, you who will not like mythology, they might like thrillers. Then if you keep on changing the genres, then you might like that book and start reading that kind of books and different authors in it. Because for a particular genre there are multiple, and there are so many people, I mean authors, who write books on the same genres. So I would say just keep experimenting with all the genres. You will find one, you will stumble upon one, I would say rather. And then just keep a good pace, maybe monthly a book, or at least 3 books a year. That's a good number of books to read in a particular year, that I would say. That's the message to the new readers.
Wow. That's quite inspiring, Anurag. In fact, that's a beautiful message that you put it in a very short number of words that really inspired me a lot today.
Yes, I hope you will start reading as well.
Yes. I will definitely start reading. As I said, I would definitely ask you about the details of each and every book that you were talking. Maybe I'm sure I would also like the genres that you have mentioned so far.
Yes.
So here's listeners, see, I'm sure you would have also been equally inspired with this beauty of books concept that has brought by our ambitious guest Anurag. All right, before we wind up, Anurag, it's time for us to move on to the next segment of our episode, that is the rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes, I am.
Great. First question, reading books day or night?
I would prefer night.
Okay. Reading books online or offline?
Offline.
Okay. Reading books weekdays or weekends?
I wouldn't pick, but whenever possible, just read. That's it.
Great. Reading books at home or on journeys?
Both, because I read in the home when I'm, during Saturdays, Sundays, and while working on the journeys. So flexible.
Great. William Shakespeare or Charles Dickens?
I did not read both of them, so I would say Amish Tripathi.
Great. Fiction or non-fiction? I think I know the
Fiction,
answer.
any
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, expected. Great. Thriller or romantic? I think again I know the answer now.
It's thriller, it's not romantic.
But yeah, once upon a time it was romantic.
I started my journey to be romantic, but it did not, yeah,
Okay,
not in that
okay.
path anymore.
Great. Biography or autobiography?
I would prefer biography.
Oh, nice. Good book or good friend?
Both. Two different perspectives, but we need both.
Wise answer again. Great. Okay, last question. Giridhar or Anurag?
With respect to this topic, advantage goes to Anurag.
Okay, then you want to say something else?
There's nothing more to say. I would just suggest everyone to read good books or bad books. No
Okay.
problem. Books are books. They give a different perspective to everyone. If you read a bad book, then it will give a perspective as well. So, continuing the question that you asked is whether it is a good or bad. So, that's my point. And read as many as you can. Uh, at least give some time to reading anything, any book. Let it be small book, a smaller sized book, or a big size book, or a smaller story or a big story. Anything. Just give some time. Experiment with it. If you like it, then it is a very good journey to continue on. If you do not like it, then there are other alternatives to listening to great stories, that is movies. So
Okay.
no problem at all.
Great. I think you couldn't get my perspective here, but that's fine. Absolutely, not a problem. So, thank you so much, Anurag, for being with us on the show today. We look forward to see you again in the near future.
Sure. Anyway, anytime, anytime.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you once again, Anurag, for being with us on this show and also inspiring me today to again start the practice of reading books.
Yes, I hope you will read soon.
Yeah. All right. So that's the end of today's episode, listeners. We'll be back next week with another amazing guest. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.